What's happening, guys? So thank you for tuning in again. I'm quite excited to do this video. I was looking online and there are some explanations about fishing gear and whatnot, but I kind of wanted to give a quick, hopefully it's quick, sometimes I'm long-winded, quick little rundown of pretty basic gear and kind of how it all works. So for instance, if you take, I'm going to adjust the camera here for a second. If you take here on the rod, got some letters, numbers, whatnot. So there's different types of rods, pretty much is what it comes down to. So right now what I'm working with and what I'm going to show you today is just a regular old spinning rod, 6 foot. They go anywhere from 6 feet to 8 feet. Sometimes for like tournament style fishing, you'll use a 7-footer. I just grabbed a very basic 6-footer because I'm not going to be doing heavy tournament fishing this summer, so I can get away with a 6-foot medium. Now in regards to that, what you got is you got ultralight, light, medium heavy, heavy, and extra heavy. So quick little rundown: ultralight would be for a small trout, creek fishing or whatnot, and then anything from medium light to medium heavy, smallmouth, largemouth bass, and then this is the size lure that you'll be working with right here. You kind of want to stick into that range. 8 to 12 pound line is what they suggest for line. So for instance, what I have here, what we're going to be spooling the reel with is spider wire. This is what I grew up using. I'm a huge fan. This is 8-pound test. Now that does not mean that this can only catch up to an 8-pound fish. That's a big misconception. So I could technically catch a 10-pound largemouth bass if I got lucky. Don't let that deter you. You don't have to go buy a heavy rod and buy 20-pound test line. It's a little unnecessary, but it is suggested, and I suggest to kind of keep within what is recommended. But right here we have a Lose Mach 1. Quite excited about this. Now it's kind of mirror image here in the camera, but if I flip around for you real quick, what you're gonna see is that the handle's on the right side. Now what that means is, for someone who's righty, they might say, oh, that feels good when it's off the rod, but this is a lefty setup, and I did that on purpose because I want to show you here for the Mach 1. It's a 200A series. You just take the handle bolt off right here, and this just unscrews. It's slowly coming, but it'll unscrew for you. Comes right out, and you literally just flip it. That's all you got to do. And then that's what holds it in place. 2 gear. You flip it onto the other side, hold it in place, and screw it back in. And then that way when you cast with your right hand, your dominant hand, giving that cast a little bit of power, you can click that right back into place. Alrighty guys, so what we have here is a Lew's Mach 1. It's a 200A series. So what we're going to do today is we are going to spool this reel. What I've done just to make it a little bit easier, because I'm inside, is I've taken my pole apart here. It makes it just a little bit easier to work with. We talked a little bit about the different types of poles, but I'm just using a simplified, quick and easy, because I'm not doing any tournament fishing. I got a 6-footer. It's a medium tension. I don't need heavy. I'm not doing any tournament fishing. And the bend and the play in the rod of an ultralight or a light. I am going to be going after bass this summer, so I wanted something sturdy. 8 to 12 pound test line. Right now we're working with spider wire. I'm a huge fan, especially their braided line, as it says in the name. This is 8-pound test. Now that does not mean that I can only catch up to 8-pound fish. That's a common misconception. Sometimes, you know, depending on the current, depending on the fight of the fish and how tired the fish is, I could manage to catch a bigger, healthier fish than an 8-pounder on this line. So I have full faith in that. So real quick, all we have to do here to start this process, and I'm trying to make sure I get it all on camera for you guys, but all we do to start this process is we take our reel, open that up like that, and then what we're going to do is this first eyelet, we're going to slip the line through that first eyelet. So we take our line here. Another really important thing to remember is whichever way your reel turns, which in this case is clockwise, you want the line off your display here to go the same way when it's coming off. So I'll be doing it like that with the label up, clockwise and clockwise. It helps ensure that there's no knots or no potential hiccups here when we're doing this. So I'll literally just take the line, and it's kind of hard to see, I apologize, but it is right there. And we're just gonna slip it through the eyelet here, just this first one, because once you're done and you cut it and you have it all tied off, you can just attach a hook or something and loop it through. Alrighty, so now that we've done that, scoot this up a bit here so everyone can see. And what we're gonna do is a quick and easy, simple overhand knot. So I'm gonna go around the back. Now some people, and in this case I might as well do it, some people like to tie a quick knot. Again, I hope you can see this, but quick little loop knot just like that, and kind of towards the end, and that'll help kind of secure it a little bit. So we'll do that. Loop it behind, and then just a quick and easy overhand knot. Nothing too crazy. It just needs to secure, so when we rotate it and reel it in, it doesn't go anywhere. And then you pull it. So I'm pulling this up, and what's going to happen is the knot that we just tied is going to slide down to that very first knot at the end there. And it's going to hold it in place nice and tight. All right, we just lock it into place. Okay, and then you want to keep some pressure on it. I'm glad I caught that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it already slipped out there. Okay. And it's easier for me to hold it up there against my leg, but you want to keep some pressure on the line and just reel it in, and it'll go up top. Okay, so that's all you need to do, is just keep some pressure on the line, just like that, with your fingers up here, and reel it in. And then once it reaches about 1/8 of an inch from the lip, from this lip, that's about where you want to be. So one thing I probably should add is if your reel is acting appropriately, sorry about the lighting, it should be even top to bottom, quarter, half, 3/4 way through this process. You don't want your whole line up top, obviously. You want a nice even cast. You want to limit you want no knots, but you want to limit any hiccups like that. That's where the line is, running through my pinky, and I just got running it out of that spool. Alright guys, so at the end of it, this is what you got. Got a little lip right there, so that is beveled, kind of helps. So they did a pretty good job of kind of differentiating where you want the line to start and stop. And one thing I did forget to say, I'm sure all of you know, but if you don't, some reels on the side or on the bottom have a reverse. So if you don't click it, in essence it won't go backwards, so it'll only go in that clockwise motion. It will not go counterclockwise. If you do not have that flipped, it will go counterclockwise and all of the work you just did will unravel, and that's not fun. So I hope this was helpful to some. Again, 1 knot, bail, loop it over, overhand knot. Make sure before you do that it goes through the bottom eyelet. You want it to go through the bottom eyelet. That's what feeds the line in, and you should be good to go. Just reel it in, and remember to leave yourself a little space up top because you don't want any knots or anything like that. And you are good to go.